Welcome to today's webinar, Elevating Talent Acquisition, the Role of AI in Optimizing Hiring Strategies in the Philippines. I'm Dennis, and I'll be your host for today's session. Today, we will be discussing the exciting possibilities of AI in recruitment, exploring how it can help us streamline processes, improve candidate experience, and ultimately build stronger teams. We'll have ample time for Q&A at the end, so please feel free to submit your questions throughout the session using the chat function. And I'd also like to remind everyone to keep their mic muted to avoid any distractions. Now, I'd like to call on Jason Lopez, Talent Recruits President for Global Business, for the opening remarks. Over to you, Jason.
Thank you. Thank you, Dennis. Good afternoon, everyone. I am thrilled to welcome you to today's webinar, Elevating Talent Acquisition, the Role of AI in Optimizing Hiring Strategies in the Philippines. On behalf of Talent Recruits, I want to thank each one of you for taking the time to join us. Whether you're an HR leader, recruiter, or decision maker, your presence here speaks volumes about your commitment to staying ahead in the ever-evolving world of talent acquisition. As we all know, the recruitment landscape has been undergoing significant transformation globally, and the Philippines is no exception. The demand for top talent is growing, the competition is fierce, and expectations for efficiency and inclusivity in hiring are higher than ever. Amid these challenges, the adaptation of artificial intelligence is not just a trend, it's a necessity. AI is redefining how we approach hiring, enabling organizations to optimize their strategies, reduce inefficiencies, and most importantly, make smarter data-driven decisions. And that's exactly what we are here to explore today. At Talent Recruits, we pride ourselves on being at the forefront of this revolution. Our AI-powered applicant tracking system is designed to empower businesses by streamlining the hiring process from start to finish. By leveraging machine learning and advanced analytics, we aim to help organizations like yours attract, assess, and onboard the best talent with precision and speed, all while reducing unconscious bias and fostering inclusivity. Over the next hour, we'll dive into how AI can transform talent acquisition in the Philippine market. You'll hear from industry leaders, gain valuable insights from real-world examples, and even get a live demonstration of how our AI-powered ATS is making a difference in recruitment landscape. I encourage all of you to engage actively, ask questions, share your thoughts, and make the most of this platform. Our goal is to leave you with actionable takeaways that can help you elevate your hiring strategies. Once again, thank you for joining us today. We're excited to take this journey with you and explore how AI can empower your recruitment strategies in the Philippines. Thank you once again.
Dennis, I believe you're on mute.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Jason. Now I'd like to introduce our keynote speaker, Anj Vera. She is the founder and CEO of TalentView, an employer branding firm with operations across the ASEAN region. Anj is passionate about transforming the state of HR and serves organizations in the field of employer branding, designing human capital strategies, and implementing HR technology platforms. She is also the author of the HR book, Rethink Recruitment, and course instructor for the highest rated employer branding course on Udemy. Over to you, Anj.
Awesome. Thank you, Dennis. Hi, everyone. Nice to see familiar faces. I can see Darwin and Hans, who I've worked closely with in the past. So nice to see you again. So I'll just jump straight into it. Thank you very much for the invitation. Really appreciate it, and Happy New Year to everyone. So I'm sharing my screen now. I hope you can give me a thumbs up if you can see my screen and if it's something that's clear on your end. Is everyone good? Everyone can see?
Not yet. Yeah.
It's good?
Wait a minute. Are you? We can't see anything on your camera at the moment. Yogesh, Kartik, can you assist? The camera seems to be off as well. Okay, just give us a moment.
Yep, I
Apologies
think
for this.
you can enable by also.
Let me stop my share and reshare again. Hang on. Because from my side, it's all good. Let me try to do that one more time. And let me know if this is better.
Apologies, everyone, for the slight hiccup.
All right. Is it visible now?
I'm
Still
afraid
not?
not. Yes. Um, I, Yogesh, would it help if she joined in and out, like what we did earlier?
Correct. Yeah, right. She can do that. Yeah.
Okay. I can do that. Thank you. We'll be back.
All right, folks, just give us a moment. Looks like we are experiencing a bit of technical difficulties.
Dennis, my suggestion is while waiting for Ange, why not each and every panel members would give their take about AI and its role in talent acquisition and optimizing employee engagement. At least it will give us time while we wait for Ange.
Okay. However, I do
Okay,
see
she's
Anj
there.
right
She's
now.
there. She's there. Good
Just
job, Ange.
right in time, and now we can see your screen, and we see the slide as well.
Okay, fantastic. And then now can you hear me as well?
Yes, you are coming in
Great, great.
clear.
All right, awesome. I can see Darwin, ever the problem solver, trying to make ways. So I'm happy that everyone can see my screen. Thank you very much for those that have given a thumbs up. So I'll just jump straight into it, as I know the topic is very interesting, and I wanted to share a few trends coming from our modern workforce report, our employer brand strength report. So everything you see here, the research that we've gathered across TalentView around talent acquisition is something I'd like to share with you today. So just a quick introduction on TalentView. So for those that are meeting us for the first time, we are in the field of employer branding, and there are three particular pillars that we work with our clients. That's employer branding strategy, design, and technology. So I want to get a few audience participation moments in. So please feel free to type on chat just one question for everyone in the room. So let's go back 10 years ago. So 10 years ago, what would people do before they eat? So before people come into a meal, what is the first thing they would do? Please feel free to type that on chat. Okay, what is the first thing that people do before they eat a meal 10 years ago? All right, Darwin says pray. That is actually the number one answer. Survey says number one answer. Joe also says pray. I'm looking for the second top answer. Yeah, there we go. Zaldi got it. So top one answer is pray, and top two answer is actually washing hands. But I love what Alok said, thinking about the taste of the food. Maybe that's gonna come in um, as a third option. But yes, top two answers would typically be to pray and to wash their hands. Now let's fast forward to 2025. What is the first thing that people would do before they eat? What is the first thing people would do before they eat? There we go. Dannah, you got it right. They take a picture, they take a video, they go on a reel, share it on Instagram, share it on TikTok. You even do a selfie. So yes, Darwin, absolutely. People would even take a selfie with their food. So times have absolutely changed. And thank you everyone for participating in that quick question. So So we now know that people eat with their eyes. Design is absolutely important, and design is something that comes in as an element to all the things we do. So whether that's technology related, whether that's embedding AI, or even showcasing who we are as an organization, design really comes into play. And of course, apart from strategy and design, technology, as we will see today, is also ever changing. And there are a lot of things that we can fold into the way we work in order to prepare ourselves for the future of work. All right, so that's TalentView in a nutshell. We work with organizations to help provide insights around their employer brand strategy, their design, and their technology. And when we talk about the three trends that we're seeing in our research around the modern workforce, around talent acquisition, and around recruitment, we can sum it up actually into three major themes. The first one being a marketing shift. So do you find that when we are talking to candidates, we are actually selling ourselves more than they are selling themselves to us? What's a clear example of this? Sometimes my first role, my first ever job was a recruiter. So at that moment in time, if you talk to a candidate maybe 10, 15, 20 years back, if they confirm for an interview, they're even going to a salon to prepare their hair, prepare their nails. They would even buy new clothes for an interview. But today, the thing that you experience is that sometimes candidates would confirm and say that yes, I will be in an interview, but the day comes, they're not there. They don't even text that they're going to miss the interview. And yet here we are as recruiters trying to call them and asking them if they want to have a reschedule for their session. So times have absolutely changed, and really we are marketing more to our candidates than they are marketing to us. So it is absolutely valuable to think about how to win that war for talent through candidate experience, and as was mentioned earlier, being able to provide a stellar journey to every candidate that comes into our organization. So that's the first one. The second is a demographic shift. So everybody talks about the generations, Gen Z, Gen X, Gen Y, Gen Alpha now coming into play. So obviously, because of the way and upbringing of the different generations, the way they also look at work, the way they also apply for organizations has changed. So if you think about, I'll go with cup noodles as my best example. And please feel free to type on chat, how do people, let's go back 10 years ago again, how do people prepare if they want to have a snack of noodles? What would you do? Does anyone remember? What would you do if you want a bowl of noodles? How would you go about the process? Please feel free to type up on chat. I'm sorry if you're thinking about a bowl of noodles right now as a snack. But yes, thank you, Harvey. That's the first thing you do. You actually boil water. You have to boil water, open the packet. Yep, Angelica also mentioned it, boiling the water, opening the packet, putting the ingredients in. But now, how does everyone do it? You just pop hot water into the microwave. Darwin even has a faster answer called Food Panda for delivery. Yeah. But for those that have a cup, they'll fill that cup with water, put it in the microwave, as Zaldi mentioned, and immediately, in an instant, you wait 30 seconds to a minute, you already have your cup noodles. So think about how that translates into the world of work today, where everyone sort of expects everything to happen in an instant. If they need information, they look for it in an instant. They don't know your company, they look for it in an instant. Sometimes even for promotions, they want it in an instant. Asking for feedback, they want it in an instant. So everything is just more fast-paced because of technology today. So that's the second one. Because of the changing demographics in the workforce, you will also see a change in expectations from talents. And the last one is a technology shift. Because everything is so accessible, sometimes you would call a candidate, "Hi, I'm Anj. I'm from company X, and I'd like to talk to you about your job application." What happens? Sometimes they're gonna tell you, "What job application is this again? What company did I apply for?" What role again? They just forgot because they woke up from their bed, sat down in front of their computer, and clicked on apply, 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 apply. So, so think about that. Think about how technology is changing the lives of our candidates, but how it's also changing the lives of our recruiters. As I'm sure in the panel, you will see this come up. There are so many changes, so many developments to how recruiters can also be more efficient in the way that they filter the right candidates for the role. All right. So what I'd like to do very quickly is also give you three tips around uh, addressing the trends, three tips around being able to get started in your journey, whether that's in technology, whether that's in adjusting to the generations, or in your marketing for your talent brand. Okay, so the first one, letter A. First one is amplify your message. So being able to go out there, to go out and meet your candidates where they are and communicate with them. And if you look at the research on We Are Social, the daily time spent for for most people on social media, take a look at the white line. Worldwide, it's 2 hours and 19 minutes. That's the worldwide average. But if you look at Asia, and if you look at Philippines in particular, we are ranked number 4. So we rank very highly. The Philippines, on average, we spend 3 hours and 33 minutes on social media every single day. So you can find your country and figure out if you're above the norm or you're within the average. But in general, a lot of people would tend to now look at jobs, look at opportunities through social media. And when we look at the research around how do people discover companies, how do people discover brands, you'll also notice that there's a shift there. It's not just social media and word of mouth, but it's your general search engines. So Google would come into play, and probably in a way, some of the other platforms are also acting like search engines now. You could actually just type something into the search box and find what you need. So search engines, ads, word of mouth, social media, and brand websites. This is how people discover you. This is how people discover organizations. All right. And so what we've found working with organizations is that it's so important for you to map out your employer branding journey. So from understanding your employer brand vision, articulating your message, what is it you want to say to candidates? Are they coming to your company for the compensation? Are they coming to your company for the experience, the culture, the training? What is it? So being able to flesh that out, being able to activate that in the right channels. Should it be TikTok? Should it be IG? Should it be Facebook? Whatever it is, just get that going, get it activated, amplify your message. And then step 4 is advocacy. Are we getting our employees involved? Do they have great things to say about our company? So being able to get your own people to talk about your employer brand. And lastly, for assess, are we measuring the right things so that we know if we are successful or not? So it's important to be able to look at this journey as you try to adapt to the trends that are happening today when it comes to the talent landscape. And when we look at our research, most of the time we're often asked, if I'm going to post content, what content should it be? What type of content sells? Or what is it that organizations use for recruitment? We found that these are the top 3. The first are company updates. What's happening with your company? Did you win any awards? Did you make any changes to your products or your solutions? The second is job ads. So obviously, especially in the field of talent acquisition, if you have a job opening, you need to communicate that. You need to reach out to your target audience for that. And lastly, because people want it to be authentic, it's important to showcase your own employees' experiences, photos, videos of your team members, of your employees working in your organization. So that really is something that can help you get started, because you might say, I don't have a budget to produce a video. I don't have a budget for photography sessions. But in reality, you could use your very own team photos for that and share that content. All right. So that's the first tip. The second tip, candidate experience goes first. And I have a picture here of our roller coaster. And if you remember the times when we loved riding roller coasters, people would often line up for 1 hour, for 2 hours, just to ride a ride that is worth what, 2 minutes? Or even shorter sometimes. So you would line up, you would spend so much time just to go on a 1 minute or 2 minute experience. So think about that when it comes to our organizations. How are we building that experience, whether that's talent attraction, engagement, or retention? So in our research, what we've found is that when you want to build an authentic employer brand and when you want to double down on candidate experience, it's important to break down the touch points. Who do your candidates interact with before they make a decision? They don't decide just because you emailed them. They don't decide just because you put out a social media post. It usually takes 6 to 10 touch points before somebody makes a decision. So the goal is to take a look. What are the touch points that are impacting my candidates? How's my social media looking? How's my career website looking? How's my job fair looking? So thinking about the different ways in which they encounter your brand and your organization. And that, of course, becomes true as well when it comes to candidate engagement. How's your interview process? How's your assessment? How's your onboarding? How's your manager interaction? All the way to the retention piece. So thinking about the candidate experience, mapping out the steps will really allow you to see where your gaps are, where your loopholes are, and where your areas for development are. Okay. And I know this is a very tough graph to see with lots of colors, but for the last decade, I wanted to share research that we've been tracking talent preferences for the last 10 years. What are talents looking for in an employer? So I just wanted to highlight a few things. The first one being the light green box, which says leadership. In 2015, this was ranked number 1. People want to work for companies that have supportive leaders, leaders who mentor them and guide them. And if we look at the latest data in 2024, 10 years later, it's still true today. It means that while some things are evolving, some things never change. It's still important for people to work with leaders that they admire and who guide and mentor them. So if you take a look at, I'll direct you to the next box. If you take a look at the light gray box, which says corporate social responsibility and being a mission-driven company. 2015, it wasn't so important. It was ranked number 9 across 10 attributes. You know, it's nice if my company has CSR, but if they don't have it, it's okay. But take a look at where that has landed in 2024. That's moved up 4 places to now rank number 5. It is absolutely important for people to work for a company that has a clear mission that contributes to the community, contributes to society as a whole. And then same goes for work environment and culture. 2015, as long as I'm paid right, it's okay what kind of work environment I walk into. But from rank 7, that has now moved to rank number 3. So happy to share my slides, but just wanted to show you that there are movements in the talent market that we are seeing, and there are changes that are happening. All right. And the reason being is that we really have come into a review culture as well. The candidate experience is now judged like a customer experience. And you can see this when we start rating companies 5 stars, 4 stars, the same way we do when we go online shopping, Lazada or Shopee. All right. And then the last one, just to wrap up, would be the last step. Think about your success metrics. So when we're starting to bring in more technologies into the mix, when we're starting to bring in AI, it's not enough that we just bring AI for AI's sake. We need to think about how that impacts our people metrics. Because your employer brand is not just who you say you are. It's what people experience when they interact with you. So it's absolutely important to look at the metrics that matter for your organization, take a look at your business goals, and take a look at the measures that would really create an impact. Is it retention rate? Is it engagement rate? Is it your brand value in the talent market? or maybe it's the number of employee referrals that come to you because you have a great candidate experience. So I'm posting here some metrics. You don't need to choose all, but you do need to choose what matters to you so that it can direct your activity in the right way. So these are your metrics. And when we asked HR leaders in our latest survey for employer brand strength, where is budget going? In fact, referrals, campus partnerships, LinkedIn and job fairs as a tie, these are rounding up the top three ways in which HR is addressing some of these challenges and trends. These are the investments that they're going to make for this coming year. So really important to take a look at this and then try to see where that is also benchmarked. Blue bar is people will increase budget. Yellow bar is budget will stay the same. Green is budget will decrease, and gray is they don't use that at all. They don't use that particular initiative at all. So ACT, amplify your message, candidate experience first, and think about your success measures. And in the end, it is really about being able to act so that we can also respond in the right ways with the different trends and changes in the talent landscape. So thank you again for the time. And I'm turning over back to the team for our next session. Dennis, over to you.
All right. Well, thank you, Anj, for that very enlightening and very informative talk. Next up, I'd like to introduce our moderator for today, Hans Bayaborda. Hans is a seasoned transformational leader with over 25 years of experience driving revenue growth, market expansion, and business success across leading global organizations. His impressive career includes leadership roles at Oracle, Hewlett Packard, Vertiv, Microsoft, and ZMG Ward Howell Asia Select. Over to you, Hans.
Thank you, Dennis, and good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Anj, for the very insightful employer brand presentation. Okay, so I think today is a very exciting topic for us to discuss. But before that, let me introduce our distinguished guests, our panelists. First is the Managing Director of Jobstreet by Seek Philippines. She's a visionary leader in tech industry, known for the innovative approach and dedication to empowering communities through fostering leadership skills. In her role on Jobstreet, she focuses on implementing business strategies, driving growth, and nurturing a positive work culture. She is passionate about supporting MSMEs and helping Filipinos find meaningful work. Under her leadership, Jobstreet has undergone a platform transformation to better serve its users, helping both employers and job seekers find better matches through AI-powered technology. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to welcome Ms. Dannah Majarocon. Good afternoon, Dannah.
Hello, Hans, and hello, everyone. Good afternoon to you all. Thank you so much for having me here today.
Okay, our next distinguished guest is a distinguished HR and management professional with over 20 years of progressive leadership experience in the BPO, IT, and shared service industries. A pioneer in human capital management, he has led operations and established HR departments for both local and his global expertise extends across partnerships with HR leaders in the US, Canada, EMEA, and the Asia Pacific region. He is the founder and president of Philippines HR Group, the largest online HR community in the Philippines, boasting over 350,000 members. It's a nonprofit organization dedicated to advancing the HR profession in the Philippines. He is also an adjunct professor at the Asian Institute of Management, a sought-after international speaker, motivational speaker, resource person, and blogger. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce Darwin Rivers.
Hi, everyone. Good, beautiful day. Hi, Hans, and hello to all the members of the panel, and of course, to everyone who is watching, listening, and who will still be watching the replay of this video.
Thank you, Darwin. Last but not the least, the panelist is a trailblazer in the human resources field. with over decades of dedicated expertise in executive search and headhunting. Widely renowned for his ability to discover top-notch talents at the C-level and executive level. He has played a pivotal role in shaping leadership teams for numerous organizations across various industries. As a founder and executive director of Eventi Search Asia, he leads a team known for reshaping the Philippine HR and talent landscape and expanding its impact throughout the APAC region. His strategic insights into career creation, succession planning, lifelong learning, and the future of work have positioned Viventis at the forefront of global human capital solutions. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce Yu Ming Chin.
Thanks, Hans, and hi. And I'm so happy to be able to participate in this webinar. I think this is the first major webinar tackling AI and automation in perhaps in a broader term talent strategy. So happy to join as a panelist in this August session this afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you, Yu Ming. So our topic for today is elevating talent acquisition, the role of AI in optimizing hiring strategies in the Philippines. Just to give a brief background of what AI is doing right now in talent acquisition, it's transforming various recruitment workflows, including automating sourcing through job boards, screening applicants with chatbots, scheduling interviews via email assistance, analyzing interviews to reduce bias, and matching candidates to open positions based on skill sets. So traditional recruitment methods that rely on resumes and interviews may not provide a comprehensive understanding of a candidate's capabilities, particularly when the knowledge and skills required to interact with AI are different from the requirements for roles in the past. So let me throw the first question to one of the panelists. Um, as a leader of one of the largest job portals in the Asia Pacific, Dannah, how do you see AI transforming the way job seekers and employers interact on platforms like Seek or Jobstreet in the Philippines?
Well, Hans, platforms like Jobstreet do help bridge the gap between our employers as well as our job seekers by addressing pain points of both sides within the hiring journey. Using the data that we gather from both sides, for example, candidate search terms, candidate profile contents, on the employer side, employer job ad descriptions, employer company profiles, we're able to provide four key benefits. The first being search relevance, the second being personalized recommendations. This is on both sides. On the employer side, efficiencies around AI ad writing. Um, and last but not the least, analytics leading into insighting as well as recommendations. So all of these data points and the behaviors that we are able to see through the platform, we're able to use this information to generate the most relevant results, even for hires that are using talent search. For candidates, we capture information that matters the most to candidates so that we can deliver better matches for them, whether it's on job recommendations or where best to actually build their skills on. These are data sets that are extremely important to continuously improve our AI algorithms. And with this, thanks to AI, we're able to let candidates search using everyday language. Previously, a decade ago, search would be fixed keyword terms. And now, everyday large language models are now in place so that they can tell us what they want in their own words. As they search, we are able to prompt these candidates with the relevant suggestions that are tailored to their search to share more context of what they're actually looking for. And what we continuously work on is integrating all of these candidate preferences so that they can tell us what they're interested in so that we can give more personalized matches. For employers, better job ads are created in significantly less time. For example, inflow salary insights can keep hirers informed um, and make sure that they're ahead of competition when it comes to creating a job ad. After all, posting a job ad isn't just about letting the world know about an opening that you have within your company. It's also about making sure that you give the right amount of information to attract candidates, one of which is salary related. How do you make sure that you're ahead of the game? We also identify gaps and opportunities that help improve performance, the performance of your job ad, will with real-time industry-based analytics as well as recommendations. While Seek is a global company, our highly localized data do help local hirers or employers create more attractive job ads. And all of these data sets allow us to provide insighting, which can be found on the platform as well, such as in areas on Talent Attraction Lab, where you can start filtering what candidates of certain profiles look for in order for them to be attracted to the new role that you have open. I've mentioned AI assisted ad writing for efficiency, and this is something that really allows hirers or employers to save time. So overall, we aid in employers as well as candidates discovery and vice versa. The deep understanding that we have of their skills, their experience, their preferences, all of these data points that we're able to generate through the platform allows us to provide personalized recommendations, which save time and provide better matching for discovery, matching, and ultimately placement. Hence, 50% of our applications actually come from the recommendations that we give to candidates. And that's over 1 billion job recommendation emails that we push and notifications that we send on a regular basis. We show hires up to 100 AI powered candidate recommendations for every job posting that they do. In this way, they no longer have to, in the old world, you would have to manually search for a specific job title and a job role and a particular background. Now, AI is empowering that to allow us to, again, create better matches.
Thank you, Dannah. That was, I think, really a mouthful in terms. I just wanted to summarize a bit in terms of the impact of AI for candidates, like the search relevance, personalization, or tailored to their likes, AI writing in terms of how you want to apply, and of course, analytics. I think so the four main points that you mentioned. On the employer side, I think, if you'll not be there, then competition will take, most probably will take more of the talent attraction. And the gaps of opportunities in job ads is very important, as what you've mentioned. And again, the insights on analytics regarding how the job matching recommendations are very important for employers for them to have the right candidate. So that's really a big impact, and we're happy that Jobstreet is doing that for a lot of our local workers. Going to our from the HR perspective, where you're already employing, there's a case study I read last time, and this question goes for you, Darwin. AI provides valuable insights into employee engagement and reasons and for attrition. And you've been in HR, you've dealt with HR group, and aiding in decision-making process related to retention strategies. So as an award-winning global HR and transformational HR leader, what role does AI play in improving employee retention through better either cultural fit or engagement during recruitment?
Hans, we have been hearing the term talent war in the last 2 decades already. Year on year, we've been hearing that, we've been experiencing that. But you know what? When I gotten the feedback of fellow HR leaders in the Philippines HR group, I've realized that post-pandemic is really molding to be a really more competitive landscape with regards to attracting and retaining top talents, which is very critical for all businesses here in the Philippines and of course globally. I think we realized that with AI, we need to really elevate our strategies with regards to talent acquisition and our approach with regards to employee engagement, employee development, and being able to use these strategies, use AI to revolutionize how we hire and take care and retain our employees. Now, with regards to your question, with regards to improving employee retention, I think I can share four things. This is feedback coming from the Philippines HR group. Number one would be by using AI, it enhances our cultural fit assessment. I mean, of course, we know that if we use AI-powered tools, we are able to analyze everything about the candidate, resume, social media, online portfolios, everything that we can know about the candidate, every social footprint that the candidate has online. And with regards to this, we're able to identify personality traits, values of the candidates, their work styles, and this help us understand, is this candidate not only skill fit, but also cultural fit? Another thing is by using AI, and again, this is from my experience in my current and previous roles as HR head, AI can be used in terms of making sure that we personalize our candidate experience. There's a lot of issues way back that recruiters are not getting back to candidates on a timely manner. They're not getting any feedback. But by using AI, you can actually personalize and make sure that feedbacks for all our candidates are timely. All interview schedules are also being scheduled at a convenient time of both the recruiter and the candidates. And we can personalize our communication to each and every candidate, either through SMS, through email, through video messaging. And this would really help in creating a more positive candidate experience. Another thing would be, because of AI, we look into the importance of having a real data-driven insights. Because using AI, it gives us an opportunity to see the data in real time, right? We are able to identify what are the areas of improvements that we need to do in terms of the hiring process, what is impacting our retention. Is this particular initiatives or program impactful, or would we need to change it because it's not getting the right numbers that were expected to have? Um, Having a data-driven insight from the time that you're hiring up to the time that you're engaging employees is very critical for us to be able to understand not only the candidates that we are processing, but also the employees that we are hiring. And I think lastly, in terms of employee engagement, if we use AI, then we are able to minimize our work in HR, both in talent acquisition and employee engagement, because data is available there, it's personalized, and we can give more time for HR to be more employee centric. We have more time for us to address our employees' concern on a one-on-one experience, right? We have more time to focus on building programs, to focus on engaging employees. So those are, I think, the four things: enhancing cultural fit assessment, personalized candidate experience, data-driven insights, and increase employee engagement.
Thank you, Darwin. That looks like a lot of work for the HR team, but
It is,
more
it
meaningful,
is.
more insightful, and more of using data. Thank you. Next question I go for is for Yumi. I think Yumi, you have collaborated with a lot of experienced HR professionals in the Philippines, industry disruptors and high-profile business leaders. As a thought leader of one of the biggest search firm here in the Philippines, how do you see artificial intelligence reshaping talent acquisition strategies in the APAC region, specifically here in the Philippines?
Uh, uh, I would share that as part of our company experience, we were one of the pioneer in adopting LinkedIn enterprise recruiter platform almost 8 years ago, and we mandated all our consultants, including our group heads that have been so used to the old way of sourcing and recruiting to to take the journey, the transformation journey. I call it the the first phase. Obviously, that have changed the way of working. Uh, Back then, they actually have uh, a full licensing or certification program, and in which um, I mandated all of them to take it. Okay, and I would share the trauma of some that they have to take it twice because it is a full test of the of the first generation of perhaps AI scripting, but still using largely Boolean algebra. Take that forward. Today, we're still using LinkedIn. Every of our recruiter, just like most search firm, have probably invested as significantly as we do. And all our 65 recruiter are all equipped with a talent recruiter license. But today we see a larger transformation hitting us, probably in something that we will never see in the next decade or so. I see uh, AI reshaping the whole recruitment function and cycle. As we all know how ChatGPT is considered to be a co-pilot. If you look at the meaning of co-pilot, you can see like now what Johnson Wang have recently announced in the CES conference in Las Vegas, that he see in nearly all function the creation and the enable of AI agent. So take in the form of Chat GPT, take in using the form or persona of ChatGPT, he can enable all form of function from recruitment, compensation, compensation, and performance appraisal. So it'll allow a very powerful way of extracting the best candidate, and as long as it have the perfect basis in the measurement to the point of selecting the candidate and matching it in the whole process, and that eventually will be the biggest impact, right? So what would it mean? I mean, uh, bad recruiter will lose their job. Average recruiter has raised their game, and to they need to know how to maximize the tool to make them effective. And it end up with one important equation. Recruiter, strategic executive search consultant have to excel in the use of technology. At the same time, that mastery should enable them to, to, to play a much more strategic role in real career advisory. Okay, it's not the end of the game. I don't think a fully matched candidate can be convinced to accept a job offer. Even AI can throw in the best recommended salary based on history, right? If ever they can capture the behavior of the candidate, he took the job at this rate, at this increase. The candidate advisory, the understanding of how a situation opportunity, this is for careers advancement, is there a continued factor for success or not? And that's where the landscape will change drastically. As in any profession, I see AI agent, co-pilot changing the whole future of work.
Thank you,
Thank
Yuki.
you.
The way you have explained it, I think AI is in every part of the process in talent acquisition, and employers or organizations should be ready to make sure to embrace this. But one thing that I also want to check is that we use more of AI in terms of how speed, beating competition, or hiring. I would like to ask Dannah, what steps, like you work with a lot of the employers in the Philippines, what steps can organization take to prevent bias or discrimination in AI systems for use for hiring? And how can they
Now,
ensure that there's fairness in the recruitment process?
now this is such a great question because with the wealth of data that AI platforms utilize, there really is a great opportunity for us to leverage on AI and all of this wealth of information to democratize how we hire, right? At Seek, we try in as best as we possibly can to help build confidence and trust for the AI powered tools and systems that we have by embodying particular values such as supporting authenticity, the responsible use of AI, as well as transparency. So, what do I mean when I say supporting authenticity? We want to make sure that the information that we have here and the technology that we have is able to ensure candidates or job seekers, hirers or employers, as well as job ads are actually represented accurately. So we have features such as Seek Pass that allows us to verify important work-related claims. We also use AI to vet all ads that are in the platform to make sure that its quality and the contents of these ads are actually appropriate, fair, and of course that there are no duplications, right? Um, the responsible use of AI is split into two tangents. The first is for us to build a responsible AI team, and the next is building a responsible AI framework. We need to make sure that there is strong governance, strong testing, and accountability in the platform that we have. Um, Seek, of course, is dedicated to ensuring the responsible use of AI. In fact, we have a team dedicated to responsible AI or RAI that guides and supports all of our actions. And with the framework on RAI, this allows any activity and our ongoing commitment to deliver becoming the or retaining our being the most trusted AI system in the market. Last point is on transparency. So we also want to make sure that we are helping people understand how and why things happen with AI. So we use this to combat bias. We build our AI so it doesn't learn or display any bias, particularly towards protected attributes. For example, did you know Jobstreet in the Philippines is 25 years old? But for those that have been using Jobstreet for the past decade, you would have seen in the past 2 years that we have actually removed filters according to gender, age, race, and of course, disability constraints. This makes sure that everyone using Seek is treated equally as well as fairly, right? We explain the process and we provide easy to understand explanations on why these things happen with Seek. And that also allows us to be in a position where we educate and influence the employers in the market around why these topics are important. So we tell employers that yes, AI allows you to become more efficient, but at the same time, AI actually allows us to be able to promote a workplace that is eliminated of bias.
Thank you, Dannah. But I think I need to challenge you, Dannah, because right now the Philippines currently has no legislation that directly deals with the regulating of the AI. I think your organization is in a good position to be able to drive this kind of law that should be in place for Philippines.
Yeah.
Going back to the HR professionals, Darwin, may I ask you, there are a lot of HR professionals most probably in this webinar. What skills do the HR professionals and recruiters in the Philippines now need to develop to effectively adopt artificial intelligence in their process, in their recruitment, and even using technology of making sure that the candidate experience and employer branding is present in the organization?
You know what? That's a very good question. For all Asia professionals there who is fearful that their roles will be replaced by AI, the answer to that is to make sure that you are not dispensable because you are upskilling and upgrading your skill set and your knowledge in the use of AI. So I think number one would be about data literacy and analytics, being able to analyze data, interpret data, for you to be able to understand what is the story behind the numbers. And understanding the story behind the numbers of what AI is giving you, your next skill set will be storytelling or data storytelling, being able to properly communicate the story behind that data to your leaders, right? Being able to make them understand that this data, what does this data means, how does this data impacts your organization, and what are the resolutions that is needed for you to be able to make changes and improvements on your current processes. Aside from that, data-driven decision making, being able to understand how you can have insights on refining your recruitment strategies, identifying areas of improvements, gaps, and also what are the areas where maybe it's hindering you to actually hire the right candidate, the skillful candidate, or the culture fit candidate, because you need to do a AI audit in your transfer algorithms. Another thing on skill set would be being able to technically proficient. I mean, your basic technical skills is important, di ba? Your understanding on how AI works, what are the concepts behind that, how is algorithm important in creating the numbers, being able to have an understanding of what we call NLP or natural language processing, and of course, predictive analytics. You also have to have understanding of the different softwares available in the market. So software proficiency of the different ATS or applicant tracking systems that is AI powered. You should not just you just not look into your current system, but look into what the market is actually giving or what the market has. Because the market might have a better AI tool or tools that you can use in your organization. Digital literacy is also important because you need to be able to understand all the verbiage, technicalities of AI, how to do proper prompts, how to be able to drive questions and analyze data. But of course, Hans, I think it's also important that you need to make sure that you still have this human-centered skills. When I say human-centered skills, your critical thinking and problem-solving skills, your communication, interpersonal skills, your ethical considerations in using AI, and of course, being able to have that change management that guides you into the transition from being more transactional to using AI, right? Because you should be able to fully integrate yourself in technology, integrating yourself in technology, but at the same time making sure that you're still human-centric, your human-centered skills are still there. Lastly, Hans, I think um, it's really more on professional development. And I'm speaking of this based on my own experience or the past 2.5 decades of working. I always believe that no one has a monopoly of knowledge. So for you to be able to be understanding the newest trends, you have to make sure that you invest on your own development, participate in different training programs, attend workshops, certifications, being able to understand what's the latest technology out there and how your team can use it and how your organizations can actually benefit from it. So, and of course, part of that is networking. So those are the things that I believe would really enable HR professionals to walk into the digital age or the AI age where our role is not only important but critical to the growth of the business.
Thank you, Darwin. I think that's really a very good, answer from the question. I think you hit it right regarding the human-centric. Of course, everyone will study about technology. It will revolutionize the whole HR department. But the human-centric part where critical thinking, problem-solving skills, and communication skills will still be very important in terms of how you deal, especially right now, if you have 5 generations of uh, generations inside an organization. So conflict resolution also is very important for HR skills to know how to manage all of these different behaviors of 5 generations in one organization.
Agree.
But you touch also, Darwin, on applicant tracking system. This one I really want to ask Yumi because I think he is a pioneer here. Your applicant tracking system, it really now incorporates AI by combining sophisticated algorithms intended to improve and automate several parts of the hiring process. It adds a degree of sophistication that enables this system to learn from data, identify patterns, and make informed decisions. Um, Based on your experience, Yuming, how has an AI-driven applicant tracking system solution improve candidate experience? And what benefits does it bring to both the candidate and the recruiter?
ATS in short is the heart of any real search and recruitment operation. Obviously, it captured the whole job assignment to repository of all candidates, and therefore, in the conventional way, it just spell out and journey out the candidate and the application process. With the power of AI today, if you have a very good matching engine, it create uh, it create a more, what I call, more more suitable matching process. Unlike if you look at some of the more first generation type of ATS, the rudimentary of matching create a highly mismatched candidate versus job requirement, and you take a good a candidate that is totally wrongly matched to the role, and the time wasted on the part of the candidate certainly will not create an acceptable experience. And of course, if you have also very efficient and a well developed ATS, it will then become an expert system. The expert system can now provide very precise, interview selection process, assessment that is needed, and down to the last point. And the expert system will then help the recruiter to gauge who is number one, number two, number three, and also creating the full engagement cycle by, oh, like it or not, a lot of recruiters today have very little leftover time to communicate back to candidate if they're shortlisted, or even if they're not shortlisted, then there's no longer any kind of courtesy being extended to. If you have a very well developed, the expert system will send out update for you as the process go along, right? And today you can tell uh, uh, who is writing the email that you receive, right? Is it from a real person or no, right? I can share with you a very interesting experience from an international search, okay, and he she was have reached the job offer stage, and he want to make sure uh, that there is an fully authenticated job offer process where his Filipino or his friend in the Philippines will help to accompany our because he wanted a formally signed job offer. He wanted a full video trail on it because he's so scared of the impact of fake situation or illegal recruitment. Okay, so today the 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 reality check, it's too close. What is real, what is not so real, correct? Correct. So and they talk about deep truth, you know, and then and contrast it with, you know, the whole notion of fake news, right? Correct. So that's where I see a powerful ATS can enable a very authentic and courteous support to the whole recruitment function.
Thank you, Yuming. I think you're correct that ATS is really the heart of the recruitment operation. Very important to have that. Actually, there's a question for you directly. I want you to put on spot. If you what particular AI technology that we can use in recruitment in assessing applicants? Maybe any one of you can do have experience in ATS, or you can give a suite of different ATS powered AI powered um,
To my mind, that is probably one of the first area that has been highly uh, automated by a lot of players, because assessment has been a very developed industry, from a pen and paper uh, to a system online driven. So a lot of those players have now evolved very fast to claim that this is a highly AI uh, driven. And practically today, if you start to look at any product that has been sold, even a consumer durable, even a TV and what have you, they will put their AI powered, AI enabled, right? So, but assessment, I think that's a lot. We in our company use at least two or three. We use iMocha for more technology type, correct? That really can simulate real technical situation. Then we used Brick that really can develop a whole assessment on competency. Okay, and
thank you.
even give you a perspective of a blue ocean perspective of a candidate.
Nice. I think Darwin also answered that here in the chat. Very I think very important. Dennis and Jason, I'll just go if there's any question right now from the audience that they can throw to our panelists. We're very open. Any questions from our um, audience? And Dannah, if you want to add anything, or Darwin, from what you Ming mentioned regarding ATS, go ahead.
Hans, maybe I'll focus on more of what I've learned from the group with regards to trends that they're looking at with regards to the use of AI in talent acquisition from 2025 and beyond. Because Dannah mentioned this already earlier, and I would just like to focus on it. It's one, being able to focus on the fairness and bias mitigation of AI, making sure that you have algorithm auditing. You have to have regular audits with regards to AI system to identify and mitigate any risk when it comes to gender, race, ethnicity, age, and other biases that might be protected and still there in your system. Um, Having bias detection tools where you are implementing specifically identifying and addressing biases within the AI algorithms. um, Transparency is very important. I mean, yes, you are using AI, but is your candidate able to understand how is AI measuring them? So you also need to make sure that while we as HR is utilizing the AI technology, we're able to communicate it well to our candidates and our employees how this technology is assessing them. So transparency and explainability is very important.
Yeah,
Um,
correct.
I always feel that AI should be just an augmentation when it comes to human decision making. It's not really a tool that will give you your decisions, but it's a tool that can help you arrive in smart decisions, right? So making sure that you have that in mind, AI is to only be used for augmenting your human decision-making capabilities. And more importantly, even if there's an AI, you should always try to make sure that the candidate experience or focusing on the candidate experience would not be jeopardized because you're using AI. There should be there should be a sense of personalization, a sense of human interaction, and a sense where you're able to um, have your candidates and your employees understand that yes, we're using technology, we're optimizing technology, but you're still talking to a human. You're still communicating with a human, and your solutions is coming from a human, not a machine.
We agree, Darwin. I think aside from what you mentioned, privacy and data security is also part of it. And at the
Yes.
same time, I think want to go back to Dannah regarding legal and regulatory compliance because don't have that. I think you should take the lead because you have more experience in terms of this kind of technology, how to use it properly, or without, as mentioned by Darwin on ethics, ethical AI.
I think HR professionals really need to embrace the use of AI, but always keep an ethical lens around it. AI allows us to truly mitigate biases. Darwin talked about transparency, data driven decisions, and all of these things that I think are very valuable to all of us. But foundationally, for the Philippines, we do have our data privacy laws in place. At the end of the day, the wealth of data that is stored and leveraged on by companies that is fed onto our um, AI systems are still going to go back to what we currently have. I do agree that we do need a more mature AI regulation. Um, Self-regulation for technology companies, I think, is a fantastic starting point, especially to allow the market to embrace the new technologies that we have. Building out trust and increasing its use will allow us to really push this forward, push the agenda of regulation forward. So, internal regulation of regular audits, continuous training for our internal teams, having our internal ethical guidelines will really help promote fairness and accountability. And as you mentioned, Hans, as our local governments move forward with embracing that regulations need to be built out on this, we will now have multiple resources within companies that will allow influence on how we build that out for the country.
Thank you, Dana. I think that really, I think aside from really using it, but we should also be conscious how we are going to use it because we are a lot of data that we are getting from different, of course, not only organization but individuals. Yes. Anything that you want to add from the panelists or some question coming from the audience?
Yes. Are there any other questions coming in? Um, because if there are, so yeah, so I guess there are no more questions. So if there are no further questions from our audience, I guess we can conclude our Q&A portion. And then I'd like to thank our speakers for their insightful presentations and for their very thought-provoking answers to the questions posed by our moderator. So thank you again. And now I'd like to call on our founder and CEO, Alok Gupta of Talent Recruit, to give a short demo of Talent Recruit's AI-powered recruitment platform. Over to you, Alok.
It's such a fascinating session from all of you, and so glad to hear different thoughts and how AI can empower and elevate the hiring experience and solve many challenges which current recruiting community has been facing. So thank you very much, Hans, for moderating the session. Other key speakers, including Anj, Darwin, and Dannah, and really, you have been outstanding in giving the clarity of the thoughts, how you can elevate your hiring experience using technology and AI. So thank you for this opportunity. Dennis. Our idea is to just to give you the perspective how we at Talent Recruit has been instrumental in creating that value proposition using machine learning and AI. And our model, which is used as transformer model, reinforcement learning transformer model, which has been learning from 25.5 million candidates so far have been processed through our platform with 1.7 million job positions. So that is given incredible data to understand and learn within the ecosystem. So what we have been able to uh, do something special in the industry with respect to how we see the role of AI in bringing the value proposition to the hiring process and creating a lot of value proposition when we talk about Gen AI perspective. So I'm so glad to introduce you Erica, which is our Gen AI powered AI recruiter, which not only help you in creating the job description or email content to communicate and engage with the candidate, but it also help you to auto-identify the candidates, against the job which you create, auto-source them, engage with them through proactive outreach to them to learn their interest. And the use case for Erica and AI, which Darwin also talked about, is being used in many sub-function of hiring process, be it candidate sourcing, engagement, and we're talking about in terms of evaluation and assessment, how the AI-driven insights can be used to understand the offer when you roll out to the candidate for different categories, be it perm employee, contract employee, or gig employee, and AI assistant in the pre-boarding and onboarding stage. How, with the changing landscape of hiring, where the organizations are looking to hire the diverse workforce, with respect to the perm, contract, or gig, or different kind of diversity. So AI is going to play a major role. I'm going to play a brief 1-minute video about what Erica is able to create an impact and difference to all of you.
Let's engage Erica, Talent Recruit's AI feature. Need a job description? Just ask Erica. Instantly crafted, tailored to perfection. Choose the right platforms for your requirement. Leverage Erica to auto-source candidates from both internal and external candidate pool and publish with a click. Customize hiring parameters effortlessly. Set thresholds and define criteria like rating, number of candidates, and more. Flexibility at your fingertips. Now watch the magic unfold. As Erica Auto engages candidates sourced both internally and externally, gathers their interest and adds them to the job pipeline for further processing. Moving on. This graph highlights all the candidate engagements sourced by you, Erica, or others, helping you make timely decisions and hiring the right people. Leverage Erica to auto-source, screen and drive personalized communications with the candidate. Experience Erica today.
I'm sure you got the brief insight about what Erica is capable of doing. Coming back to a different discussion that happened during the webinar. So I'm happy to walk you through some of the use cases we spoke about during the webinar, how Erica is making an impact through a live demo to you. So let me see, this is our platform where you can see how you can create a job. So the first of the use cases for Erica is how Erica can help you to create a job description. Because today, dynamically, the things have been changing. Every organization looking to create a value impact. While you create a job description, it gives the information that is adequate, required for the job. And also, at the same time, it's communicated the right information to the candidate, and recruiter is able to understand the job description to evaluate effectively the candidates for each job description. So for example, if you want to create a job description, say create a JD or say architect, enterprise, or you say enterprise sales manager, for a SaaS company with 5 years of experience, right? So you just prompt Erica. You can also further give inputs, more information. Erica is going to help you to create the outstanding job description. So you can see here the job description has been used, how you want to look at the key responsibilities, the qualifications, and other prerequisites required for the job. You can quickly add the information to the job description. You can edit any information you want as desired by you. Alternatively, the system also help you to create a cloning of the job description from the platform. So I'm just cloning from one of the job to create a job, and just to show you how Erica can leverage your internal database to hire or to shortlist automatically and to engage with the candidates which are part of your ecosystem. For example, if you're an organization or hiring candidates, or a staffing company which are having the contingent workforce, you can also engage. It can be posted to internal employees, and Erica can also engage effectively with them from the region you want. Similarly, if you want to engage with the candidates who are external candidates, you can post, of course, in different part of the world. You are on various job boards of the world, and you want Erica to engage with these candidates. For example, you want, hey, Erica to be engaged for this particular job. You can say, okay, I'm looking for this job for India, and I want India-based candidate, or in Philippines, I want Philippines candidate should be able to be connected by Erica for this particular job. And then you publish the job. You will see the information right from the top, the job created. So I just now created this job. The moment I created the job, you can see here the Erica automatically has started engaging with these candidates, which is already part of this data pool. If you can see here, these candidates are automatically engaged. Alternatively, you can also see Erica has also recommended some of the candidates which are above the threshold, say 80% match or 70% match. You can define those parameters, and you can also engage with them or shortlist to the job requirement the way you want. So you can see the entire data which you have been leveraging and creating over a period of time is being leveraged by Erica to auto shortlist and auto engage the candidate effectively. The moment Erica auto shortlist and engage candidate, you will be able to see the Erica engage the candidate has not responded. So Erica can communicate through email and also now going forward WhatsApp, so that to understand the interest of the candidate. Erica is also able to follow up, as per the defined process and governance rule you define in the Erica engagement process. I can just quickly take you there. You can see here what we have configured 80% plus threshold limit, where Erica should be able to auto shortlist and engage using email the top 10 candidates with 3 follow-up through email every alternate day, or every day you want. You can simply update and upgrade those information. The moment you see this particular job which we just created, Erica has auto shortlisted or engaged with 21 candidates. And how are these candidates getting the email in form of the opportunity? You can see, for example, this mail just now came to me as the external auditor position. And Erica also speak about why this job is relevant for me as a candidate. It is also talking, I believe your skills, especially auditing, are quite relevant to the job profile. I can look to see if I'm interested for this job as a candidate or I'm not interested. If I say interested, I'll simply be redirected and say, okay, hey, would you like to explore more opportunity? And thank you very much for showing the interest. What Erica does in between, it communicates to the recruiter, and recruiter gets the information about the job allocation and the candidate which is applied through Erica. And you will be able to see here in this particular job how Erica has been able to make a candidate which is interested, right? Can you see here on the top? And this candidate status has automatically changed and interested. So what Erica is able to do, one, what we saw now, job description creation, is auto identify the best match talent, auto shortlist, engage with the candidate, follow up to understand their interests, and any candidate which is coming to the funnel, whether it's a direct application from the career page or from job boards or from your employee who is referring, or internal employee who are applying or your agencies who are referring the profile would be auto matched against each job. Furthermore, if I have to see this particular profile, Mohan, who has been rated 86%, which is the best match for this particular job, and you will be able to see internal Uberized rating of this candidate is also available from recruiter evaluation or other interview panelist evaluation. And another very important aspect of Erica here is it is also showing, like Mohan, how many similar profile lying in your database which can be used for the same job, and it can be shortlisted for the same job. So what Erica is doing, matching job to candidate, candidate to job, and candidate to candidate. So you ensure that the entire database which you have been able to build over a period of time is completely leveraged by Erica. When you see this particular information, just to give you the perspective here, you also see in the job dashboard which are the jobs where Erica has made some candidates interested. So you can see those information directly from here as well. And when you get into the job, you will see on the top how many candidates have been engaged or made interested by Erica. And if multiple candidates have applied, you can sort basis the best match candidate by Erica rating, so that you are receiving hundreds of applications for a given job and you want top 20 or top 10 candidates to be processed forward. You can take along what you want to drive, engaging with those candidates who are matching best. So saving tremendous amount of time and efforts, ensuring you leverage your database in a very effective manner. At the same time, you will be able to see your dashboard as a recruiter, how Erica has been giving you entire value proposition to you with respect to various candidates, which is auto sourced by Erica. You can see from here, sourced by me as a recruiter and sourced by me, my team, or alongside other recruiters. And out of those candidates sourced by Erica, how many made interested by Erica, how many candidates have been sourced by me but engaged by Erica. So I can also engage Erica as an effective manner. When you look at the executive dashboard, and if I have to look at last 6 months, say 60 days data, you can see which are my source mix. Erica is one of the most prominent source mix for you. It has automatically sourced more than 622 profile, which is, and 674 profile has come from job portal. What we are also additionally able to drive the value with different reports on the Erica part. So you can see this Erica report where you can understand how many candidates automatically sourced by Erica, engaged by Erica, and hired through Erica. At the same time, the recruiters who have sourced many candidates. So you can see, for example, today, if you have 10 recruiters, they are sourcing, say, 30 profile each on a given day from job boards. So you have around 300 resume per day being sourced, and in a given month is close to, say, around 7,500 candidates. And many times recruiters don't follow up if you're not able to reach to the candidate through their email or follow up through calls. The Erica does your part, and Erica ensures that those candidates where the recruiters source from various job boards are engaged and are made interested. This report gives you entire data where how many jobs a recruiter is working, how many candidates they've sourced, how many Erica has recommended, how many candidates have been auto-engaged and auto sourced by Erica, and how many candidates have been engaged by recruiters, out of the sourcing they have done. So you know which recruiting team member has been effectively evaluating Erica as a part of the engagement matrix. For example, if 8,000 profiles are sourced by recruiters, out of those, recruiters engage Erica is 1,583 numbers. Similar manner, you can see the source report where you will be able to see the clear impact Erica is bringing in form of the number of hire you make through Erica. Number one, auto sourcing. Second, engagement. You can see the Erica is one of the source. If I just print down, you can see how many candidate Erica has sourced through auto engagement as well as Erica engagement, 1,000 candidates, how many engaged by recruiter, and how many candidates have been taken up as a part of the source from Erica recommendation, and how many candidates have been offered to hire. You will be able to clearly, distinctly see the value proposition Erica brings for you. So this is quickly just to give you the perspective how Erica can be helpful in doing a lot of value work which you are doing as a part of the process, and it can be a true assistant to you as an AI assistant to each recruiter in your team. It currently, if you look at the data, if you're hiring 100 candidates, 22% candidates are auto-sourced and engaged by Erica, and additional 30% candidates sourced by your recruiter but engaged by Erica. Erica is today contributing up to 52% of your recruiting workforce. So this is something which value our AI is able to demonstrate and provide, and most of our customers are able to leverage this, and happy to talk further one-on-one if you need any further information about Erica. So thank you, panel, again for your time. Over to you, Dennis.
All right. Thank you, Alok, for that impressive demo. And I'd like to thank you all for your participation today. We hope you found this webinar very insightful and very helpful. For those interested in taking advantage of AI-powered recruitment, please visit our website at talentrecruit.com. And you can also schedule a personalized demo by leaving us a message on the website. So once again, thank you very much for everyone for participating today. We hope to see you again on our next webinar, and have a great day, everyone.